Hi guys, I hope everyone's having a fabulous weekend. Wow, my hair's really screwed up. So I wanted to just say hello to everyone and do a quick haul video of the stuff that I got this weekend from Amazon and from Barnes & Noble. Because it's not August yet, so I'm not required to not buy anything yet. Still. So let me just start with, because I only got 2 books from Amazon this week. The first one was the Tarot Bible, which was on sale. It was, I think I paid like $8.95 for it. So I couldn't pass it up because it's a great little flip through book. It's great for reference. It talks a lot about the history of tarot in the beginning. Let's see if I can find, they have pictures of the initial people who, like the magician John Dee in the 16th century. And then they talk about the Thoth and Dr. Waite and Aleister Crowley, who did the Thoth deck. I love Aleister Crowley's picture. To me, it just looks, it looks like you know, who's the guy from, not the Munsters, but the other one. I cannot, my brain, I'm going to have to go smell rosemary. Cousin It, or whatever his name is. It's not Cousin It, but you know who I'm talking about, right? The bald guy with, I'm so bad today. Anyways, it starts out with history. It gives you a lot of spreads in here. It has a good, you know, 2 pages on each card. Then, I mean, a lot of spreads. It has how you see each other spread. Then you got, this is relationship spreads. Then it has different chapters. Everyday spreads. All change. What I need to resolve spread. It has... Then it goes on to revelation spreads. What am I doing with my life spread. The problem spread. Outer attitude, inner truth spread. So I want to start doing more spreads. So the zodiac spread. So I really thought this was a great thing. And for as cheap as it was, like I said, I think I paid $8.95 for it. It was a great sale. So, and I also started getting 2018's Llewellyn's books. I don't get them all every year, but, you know, the ones that I really feel like they called to me. So I started with the Almanac, the Sabbath's Almanac, which starts in Samhain this year. So, you know, I like these. They kind of give you an idea of some recipes and some crafts and some meditations for each one. And so I like to get as many ideas as I can, because it depends on if I'm going to have people over to do it or if I'm going to do a solitary one. I kind of look up some stuff and then make up my own around what I find. So then I went to Barnes & Noble's, which, you know, I love. Apparently, not every Barnes & Noble has a used section, which is just a tragedy. It's horrible because I love my used section. I did not start at the used section. So I'm standing in front of the tarot section, and I have been called for a while to get the Modern Spellcasters Tarot and the Everyday Witch Tarot. And they're both equally, as far as I'm concerned, a little too much money. But I'm like, okay, I'm going to get one of them today, whichever one calls out. So I look at them and I put them down. And I pick them up and I put them down. And I, you know, try to meditate and say, okay, which one am I supposed to get? I'm getting the same kind of energy from both. What I should have done is put them both down and walked away and come back another day when I felt, but of course that is not what I did. I held them both behind my back and kind of moved them around and just picked a hand. So I ended up with, whoops, Modern Spellcasters, which I have to say I'm kind of happy with. I'm like, okay, I have seen a lot of the Everyday Witch because a lot of people have done stuff on it. I've seen a couple things from the Modern Spellcasters, but not a whole lot. So I don't know if people are not liking it. I thought it was very interesting looking, so this is the first time I'm looking at it. The book seems to be pretty substantial. It's not in color, but it obviously, you know, has stuff on each of the cards. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I have seen some walkthroughs and stuff of it. Of course, you didn't see that. So I'll just take a quick peek through the cards and see what I can see. The Fool, who is literally, like right now, stepping right off the cliff. The Magician is, I don't know, that's one of the cards that I almost didn't get it for. I just am not crazy about this Magician. I like the background of him, but he looks really hokey to me. But so maybe that was part of it. Oh, okay, I like the High Priestess. I haven't really seen her a lot. There's no face. She has no face to her. That's kind of interesting. The Empress is the one that's on the cover. So, you know, we'll see. Oh, okay, I like the Emperor. I do know that it's supposed to be very pagan-y, so, oh. You know, I thought it would be an interesting deck anyways. So let me see. I, of course, have to look out for Justice, for Strength. I like that not all of them are human. It's kind of cool to me. Oh, okay. So she's got the pomegranate in the other hand. Oh, come on, camera. And, woohoo, come on, my camera. All right, I like that. Here's the Death card. Not bad. I like the Death card. I like the moon in the background. The face, see the face down here? It looks like a mask almost that he's peeled off. So that is kind of cool. And here's the Devil, which I really do like the Devil. That's, you know, with the sloth there at the bottom, or the gluttony. Okay. So I'll let you know what I think, you know. It's funny, does the Ten of Cups look the same to you all of a sudden in a whole bunch of decks? I feel like I've seen that a trillion times. I really like the Ace of Pentacles. He's a cool looking squirrel. So anyways, I don't want to spend all my time on that because I know you guys have probably seen this deck elsewhere. I just wanted to say that I decided that was something I needed to get this time. So I did. But, and I did buy one other new book, which was Shamanic Journeying. And it is by Sandra Ingerman, who I really liked. What's the other book? Soul Retrieval. And it has a disc to it, which for journeying, I actually was looking at two different books with discs in them. One of them was John Matthews' book for Celtic animal, spirit animal, something. And he had a disc to it too. So, and I almost got that one, and then I went back and forth, and I decided to get this one instead. Because I really have started trying to drum on myself, by myself. And I need some more direction, I think, so that should be good. I've been waiting. I think locally there is a couple people who do drumming classes and stuff, which I would like to do, but first I want to do where you make your own drum, because I have some that I have bought, but they're not connecting enough. So I think I really need to put my hands on it and make my own. So anyway, this one says A Beginner's Guide to Shamanic Journeying. The shamanic journey is a practice common to all indigenous societies throughout history. By listening to a drum beat or other rhythmic percussion, the shaman enters a non-ordinary reality, an altered state of consciousness beyond time and space, to access spiritual guidance and healing, assist others and the planet, and reconnect with the cycles of nature. Shamanic Journeying offers you an interactive learning experience to discover how to journey, just as traditional shamans have for centuries. So, and it's a fairly short book, which is good because I've got about 1 million books started right now. So I kind of thought, I'd pop the disc in and see what I thought. So I'm kind of excited. So now on to the used book section, which I just made a killing on. I was so excited. So I always look first at the New Age section of the used books. And then in there they have stickers on them. And the stickers means different things. And then I go to, they have a $1 table and a $2 table and stuff like that. So some of these were gotten in a couple different ways. This one is called The Personal Totem Pole, Animal Imagery, the Chakras, and Psychotherapy. And this is by Eligio Stephen Gallegos, PhD. And that green sticker means I paid $1 for it. And it talks about, let me see if I can get to the beginning here. Apparently this is the second edition. So it says, since the publication of the first edition in 1987, the use and popularity of the personal totem pole process has increased significantly. Many psychotherapists have come to value the depth, precision, and fullness with which the chakra animals guide healing and growing. Body workers have come to appreciate the process as an adjunct to their own work. Artists esteem it in the ripening of their creativity and deepening. People in general have come to see its significance as a deeply knowing dimension of themselves that lends support and guidance from within. The personal totem pole process has been integrated into the professional training in bioenergetics and Gestalt therapy at Hartford Family Institute, taught by Stuart Alpert and Naomi Bressett. It has been successfully employed at a state prison. So I believe that this is really going to be talking about kind of creating your own totem pole. I don't know if that's going to be like a physical totem pole, which I kind of thought would be a cool idea, is to take your spirit animals and make your own totem pole so that when you're meditating, I think that's a really cool idea. I want to look into it. I don't know if that's what this is about, but I'm going to find out. Exciting. $1. This one is When, Why, If. And this is by Robin Wood. And I paid, let's see, it was the red is 75% off of $4. So it's that sticker minus the lowest price here. So I think I paid like, I don't know, $1 something, $1.30 maybe. So the back says, When, Why, If is one of the most important books ever written for the benefit of Pagan and Wiccan community. So often we are given instructions on how to practice the craft in many ways, following many traditions. Finally, a responsible elder has come forward to guide us through the mists of ethical behavior and moral responsibility. This book is especially well suited for the instruction of children and teenagers entering the craft. Robin Wood has presented this complex topic in a simple to understand, plain English book. Reading this book is like having a conversation with an old trusted friend. Thank you, Robin, for this vital contribution to the community. Kate Dalton, Craftwise. The best explanation of personal ethics that I have ever come across. Clear and lucid, the only thesis I have ever seen that teaches you how to create your own ethics. So I thought that was great. I think that sometimes the ethics in our pagan community kind of get thrown by the wayside because we're more open. But I think we do have ethical responsibilities that we really need to look at and decide as a community how we want to move forward. So I'm really excited about reading that one. Oh, this one isn't really for me. I bought it for my son. Tattoo Machine, Tall Stories, True Stories, and the Life of Doing Ink, because he's a tattoo artist. And this apparently is a famous tattoo guy. And so I think I paid like $2 for it or something. So, yay. So this is I Am Becoming the Woman I've Wanted. And this is by Paper Mache. It is really. It's by, see, I don't, that's the only thing about these stickers is they put it, it's edited by Sandra Hadelman Martz. It's the latest in the series of anthologies from, you know, the person who wrote When I'm a Woman, I Shall Wear Purple. So I have been getting these books because there's a lot of stories by different people in this book, and there's like poems and the woman whose body is not her own after hysterectomy, and different people have submitted stuff for this book back into this body. And when I do a monthly Sacred Feminine group. So I like to kind of pick out some stuff for my Sacred Feminine group. Return to campus. So this is a good one to pick out, you know, a great story or a great poem or whatever. I like getting those kinds of books. Wise Woman, a celebration of their insights, courage, and beauty. This is by Joyce Tennyson, and I paid $1 for this one. And there's, I just really, I like when people do pictures of real women. I love that. Instead of the, you know, Kim Kardashians of the world. I used to dance a lot, but unfortunately all my partners are dead. Now I travel to remote villages around the world where women weave their own cloth. I design all my own clothes, and I try to keep the integrity of the cloth. I like hats. This one makes me feel like I'm a mythic priest who brings joy and love to the people around her. That is Zelda Kaplan, who's 85 years old. So, and it just is pictures of real women and a tiny excerpt of their stories. And I love that kind of stuff. The best thing about getting older for me is never having to wear high-heeled shoes again. Jan Owen and friend. I agree with her. So, oh look, there's Lily Tomlin. I love her. And hers says, and Paula Lawrence. Paula, being a godmother is about joy and love and passing all that along. Lily says, Paula is my spiritual and artistic godmother. Meeting her 25 years ago was a kind of providence or fate. So I don't know. I like stories about real women, and because that's what I am, a real woman. So two more. I paid $1 for this one. It's called The Brink Stories. And this book is all kinds of stories about being on the brink. Being on a ledge, being close to death. It's this author went through and got all kinds of different people to tell him their stories of either when they were on the brink of, or right when they were literally on the brink, they were talking to this author. So, and I have done a lot of work with people who are dying, and so that kind of thing is very interesting to me. I don't know, there's something very freeing about knowing that you're dying. I'm not saying go out and commit suicide, but I am saying that there is something very spiritual, and it's an honor to be with someone who is dying, and I have found that in many, many circumstances. So. The last one is called If Animals Could Talk. I love Goofy Kids books. And this is really a goofy kid book. Well, all right, it's not really. It's kind of a goofy adult book. So the chick is here. All right, let's tear the roof off this motherfucker. Who's ticklish? The octopus says, who's ticklish? See you in hell, killer bee. Here's the horse. I will not repeat that one. Bad bitches only, the poodle. If you dress me up one more time, I'm going to murder your family. The guinea pig. I just have a wacky sense of humor, and I'm sorry, that's the way it is. I'm mixed, get over it, the zebra. And this is, I don't know what that kind of fish is called, but he has the light. What the fuck is that? Oh, the anglerfish. I can't help it. I'm weird. That's the way I am. So I hope you all are having a fantastic weekend. I'm going to go relax. I have not done very much today on purpose, and I encourage you all to go relax too. I'm going to pull out some tarot and do me a spread and enjoy the rest of my weekend. Tomorrow my husband has off, so it'll be back to work in the garden and stuff. So I am relaxing on one of my days off. But blessings, guys. I hope you all have had a great weekend so far and continue to have one.